Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Photography Podcast with Mike Muriello. This is episode 116, exterior tip number 1. When we first started talking about interior composition tips and all that, I believe we started with height. So I figured now that we're going to start doing exterior stuff, we should also talk about height. It's kind of the basic thing to talk about at first. So this is a shot taken approximately 15.5 to 16 feet elevated on a pole. And if you go back to his original podcast, talk about the many different ways to get an aerial shot. One's a pole, a camera on a painter's pole of some sort. You could also use a tripod, like a giant tripod. Another one was a bucket truck. Another one was a balloon system. You can do a lot of different things. In fact, I was just at a listing earlier this morning, and the homeowners, they were using this giant, it was like a 15-foot ladder, no joke, to do some work on the house. And I said, hey, you mind if I get up there? They didn't mind, and I took a couple shots. There's a lot of control with that ladder, but it is, if you're afraid of heights, I would not recommend it. And I don't think I'd do it again, because it's, you fall, you're in a world of hurt. If you're using a camera on a pole, what's the worst that can happen? The camera falls, not you. Anyway, that's either here or there. We're just talking about height. So about, 15.5, 16 feet off the ground. It's on a painter's pole with that addition, and then the camera's on top of that. And I wanted to show you what a shot, what I'm going to say, I say this before, what everyone else is getting is they're on the ground, and they are shooting this. And this is best case scenario, because all the lines are straight, and typically when you see a house in an MLS system, they're not straight. You've got a little bit of warping because they're looking up at the house or looking a little bit down, and whatever. It's usually not the best of situations. So this is what they're getting. And by the way, these are both tone mapped. The single shot tone mapped in Photomatix to a certain degree, so that you're able to pop the colors a little bit, but not overdo it and give it an HDR effect. So technically these are HDR photos, but obviously they're nothing what you'd see when it comes to HDR. So back to the aerial shot. You can see the difference, and just a couple little things to point out, just to show you why height is so important if you can't see it already. You notice how much of the roof we can see? Of course, in the one on the ground we can see over here, up here, and over here, but we cannot see right there. And looking at how important that is, being able to see more area of that roof gives you a better perspective of the house. The other thing you see when you're down here on the ground and you see this tree, you see how high it is in relation to a person, and it goes back in the backyard. But when you pull back, or you pull up, you can see all the way back in through the side of the yard, and it kind of gives you a much better perspective, once again, of how large the area behind here is. Here, you have no idea how far back it goes. There, you say, okay, I see how far back that goes. And the last thing, one of the last things that I'll point out in this one, which kind of goes along with this, is that you get to see more surface area of the ground over here too. Because over here, you don't know the separation between the two houses. Over here, you get a much better idea. So elevating, obviously getting an aerial shot, it does change a lot. It's a really, really good idea to do. There's really, once I said this before, it's really not that hard to do. It's very minimal investment. The biggest risk you're taking is you might drop your camera, break a lens. But I don't know. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've never done it. I've had a couple of, near misses, but nothing to the point where I've had to replace any equipment. So just give it a try. Try it at your own risk, but give it a try. All right. Well, thanks. Have a good one.